Stefan, right? Stefan loves using his smartphone, especially the NFC capability. You saw in our last video a variety of cool things Stefan can use NFC for, like grabbing data from smart posters and using his phone for mobile payments. Stefan loves the convenience of NFC, and we're starting to see this technology become more widely used. Now meet Nefitz. Nefitz also loves NFC, but for a very different reason. Nefitz is a hacker, and he thinks NFC could be a new attack surface for him to exploit unsuspecting users. Using techniques such as browser hacks and Bluetooth pairing, Nefitz is able to hack into Stefan's phone to perform acts such as downloading malicious apps or even stealing sensitive data like credit card numbers. Now let's dive into how hackers like Nefitz utilize NFC for their crimes. So how do apps use NFC? Applications use something called the NFC data exchange format to structure NFC messages. This is a simple message format for sending data. Data gets broken up into records to get sent over the NFC link. Basically, each record has a well-known type associated with it, and types could consist of a URL address or a chunk of data for when files are being sent. So an attacker could construct their own NDEF messages and store them to an NFC tag. So what a hacker could do is analyze the attack surface of NFC-enabled devices to find vulnerabilities. So for the Android, this could consist of getting the driver for the NFC hardware, the Android library that communicates with the NFC hardware, and whatever OS he needs that sends and receives NFC messages. So what a hacker will do is try to emulate various types of NFC tags very easily and practice hacking popular cell phone models. For example, the Nexus S or Nokia 9 handsets that we're going to talk to shortly. So here's the attack surface for NFC on Android. Basically, the OS has several files called shared object files that provide NFC services for the OS. A malicious NFC tag could execute code in these .so files, either in the NFC service running on the OS or in the kernel itself. One thing a hacker could do is something called fuzz testing. Fuzz testing is a software testing approach to analyze the behavior of software when invalid, unexpected, or random data is provided to the software. People will do this to try to discover crashes, memory leaks, and any other failure modes that the phone might exhibit. Hackers can emulate the various types of NFC tags to use for fuzzing NFC-enabled handsets and manipulate the data provided. So what they'll do is automatically generate and execute thousands of test cases to discover this type of behavior, and then possibly replicate it in the real world. So hackers can exploit vulnerabilities at higher levels, trying to figure out what exactly the mobile device will do when receiving in-depth data. One device targeted was the Nexus S running Android 2.3.3. The out-of-the-box settings on this phone will process any NFC data presented to the device. Similarly, on the Galaxy Nexus running Android 4.0.1, which has Android Beam, the out-of-the-box settings also process any NFC data presented to the device. Android Beam is Google's NFC-enabled app that allows users to share data like digital content, applications, or something as simple as directions. Certain apps are already registered to handle NFC messages, such as the browser app, the contacts app, and various tags applications like Google Wallet. So, default configurations of ice cream sandwich devices will allow the browser to automatically process NFC messages to navigate to a URL. So Android Beam increases the attack surface to include the browser. You ever notice how the URL address bar disappears soon after you navigate to a page? This makes it even harder for the user to detect exactly where your phone is going. So Galaxy Nexus running Jelly Bean supports simple Bluetooth pairing. The device uses NFC tags to simplify the pairing by automatically pairing with the Bluetooth device over NFC. This is the out-of-the-box configuration of the handset. The attack surface increases substantially if Nefitz has access to a handset over Bluetooth. He can access the file system and even send data back to some remote source, such as credit card numbers, over text messaging. So let's step through exactly how this attack works. NFC tags can be used to simplify pairing with more complicated wireless systems such as Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, just by tapping. So Stefan taps his phone to an NFC tag, like a smart post or a point-of-sale system that Nefitz has already compromised. The tag will be preloaded with NDEF messages to pair with a local Bluetooth device. The Bluetooth device will automatically pair with his phone and can start accessing data and sending back to some remote computer. The Bluetooth services running on the phone give Nefit's Bluetooth device full access to the phone to do whatever he wants. Stefan, you know better than that. You should have secured your device. Since Stefan didn't secure his device, so to summarize, just know that NFC is one more interface that an attacker can use to access a device. So this greatly increases the attack surface. Users need to be proactive in configuring how NFC is enabled on the device. So configure the device to only use NFC on demand, and make sure you enable active prompting from the user when presented with NFC messages. If you're using mobile payments, make sure you secure your phone with a passcode in case you lose it. And be sure to update your applications. A lot of these applications get patched to fix security vulnerabilities, so you're going to want to be running the latest versions. And remember, don't be a Stefan.